This video demonstrates how to protect and license a LiveCode application. This ensures that your application will only run on an authorized computer. First, we'll demonstrate an offline activation process and then an online serial number activation process. Let's start with the LiveCode application we've created here, a to-do list, and we've got it in a source folder. We've also created an empty output folder. To apply the protection licensing process, we're going to be using the AppProtect. We'll launch AppProtect, select an unused record, and let's give the record a name. We'll now select the application we want to protect and an output folder where we'll generate the protected application. And finally, we'll click Build. Once the build process completes, we can go to the output folder and we'll see our protected application. We can name that whatever we want, and that's what we'll distribute to users. When your customer downloads and launches your application for the first time, they're going to see an activation dialog. Here, it's a manual process. It shows a password number. The user is going to have to give you that password number from their computer, and then you'll put it into AppProtect running on your development computer. You'll click the password button. It'll show you the password that's uniquely going to work on their machine. When the user enters that number and clicks OK, it then activates the application, and then from then on, the application will launch and run just fine forever on that machine. Now let's demonstrate an online serial number activation process where at the time of purchase you give a serial number to the customer, and later they can download and activate your software on a specified number of computers using that serial number without your assistance. So in addition to the AppProtect, we have to have an online activation server handling this serial number activation process. There are several options. The simplest is to get an account on the Safe Activation service. Safe Activation is an online service used to do serial number activation and automate the order process and other functions for a variety of different protection licensing tools, including AppProtect. So let's look at a few screens of information that we had to set up for our application. So first, in the serial number group section, we defined a group name called to-do list, and then we generated a batch of serial numbers, and let's look at that batch of serial numbers. We've generated serial numbers into slots 321, and we have a group of 10 serial numbers. So here's the actual serial numbers that we've generated, and they're assigned to a particular group name, and this max activation field just determines how many unique computers can be activated with that serial number. To actually generate this batch of serial numbers, we used a command on this screen where we can enter the starting ID and the ending ID of the different slots, and then the group name we wanted assigned to it and how many activations we wanted to allow for each serial number and the type of serial number we wanted, and then we just clicked generate and it filled those slots with serial numbers. The next thing we had to do is on the custom form section, we've created a form called to-do list, and basically in that form we're just setting a couple of check boxes for information that we want to collect during the automated activation process. Again, the Safe Activation service can be used with lots of different protection licensing tools, some of which have a lot more capabilities than what is available in AppProtect. For AppProtect specifically, you're just going to set the visible and required field of request number and serial number, and then click Save Data. So finally, we want to create a product record. And there we've created a product record called to-do list, where we've named the record and fill in a little bit of information. This is what essentially on the online side links it to our protected application. Let's open up our AppProtect, and specifically we're going to look at this seed value right here, 79887, and we need to put the same value into the ticket code field. In the activation calculation, we want to put P for password. We want to set enable activation, serial number required, and finally we want to select the name, the group name of our list of serial numbers here, and the activation form name that we created. Once we have everything set up, we go to the bottom, click Save Data, and you will see a URL of the automated web page to handle this activation process. And we're going to copy that URL into this field and set the serial number checkbox. We now have everything set up in the online activation server and in AppProtect to handle the serial number activation process. So finally, we're going to click Build. And it's going to build our protected application with the serial number activation process ready to go. When a customer purchases your application, you're going to give them a serial number. And when they download and launch for the first time, they're going to be presented with an enter serial number dialog. They'll enter that serial number, click OK, and it will be automatically activated through the activation server, and now they're up and running.